to blow up the team. I'm Matt, and I have a sudden burst of energy to get through this. Today we're talking about the Minnesota Twins preseason grades. The Minnesota Twins in 2020 or 2019 were a powerhouse. They dominated the AL Central for about a month and a half. The Indians threatened to maybe come take it from them, and they came within a game or two. But then the Indians remembered, oh, we have no pitching, and our outfield defense is terrible, and we're just not a good organization. We're not a bad organization, but we really don't have the tools to compete right now. And they fell off and way out of the wild card race. And Minnesota glided itself to over 100 wins and or actually just 100 wins. Yeah, just 100 out of 162. Like how sad, only 100 wins. So anyway, they glided themselves right to 100 wins and an easy AL Central title. The ALDS, however, did not go their way as they were swept by the Yankees in 3 games. 2020 is looking pretty good for them again. I think this is really their division to lose. The Indians are obviously going to be threatening, but I think really the Twins have had the better offseason with better talent up and down their roster. They made a lot of smart moves. They got a massive deal they got a massive player in Josh Donaldson. They added Kenta Maeda and as their third man in their rotation. They added bullpen help. Their biggest problem was their bullpen, and they only had one really stud bullpen arm. They added bullpen help for Trevor May and Taylor Rogers. And so this team it's like I said, it's their season to lose. It's their division to lose, I should say. So starting with the lineup, Max Kepler, one of my favorite guys to watch, probably one of my favorite players on this team. Between him and Donaldson, really. He's got good power. He's got good fielding. He doesn't have the prettiest average, but that's fine for a guy who also has decent walk ratio, and that good power. He's hit 36 home runs last year. And he'll definitely probably hit the double digits despite the shortened season. And overall, solid guy to have. Really, just overall, the exception of contact hitting, great player. Jorge Polanco at shortstop. He's always been considered one of the better players in the league. He had that one season where it was 2018 or 2016. He had a really awesome 2017. I think it was 2018 when he got busted for steroids. But he came back this season and showed I didn't do that. I am a good player. I don't need steroids to play. Oh, let me just go. Yeah, it was 2018. He was suspended for steroids after a real breakout campaign in 2017. And so there was a lot of doubt casted over him as to if he could actually put together numbers like he had through that point to 2017, and put together that pretty solid season he had in 2017. Solid, but not like amazing, but still good season in 2017. And 2019, he had his best season to date. He had 22 home runs. He scored 107 runs for a guy who's hitting up in the order. That's a pretty important stat to look at because it means he's getting on base a lot. He, had a good strikeout to walk ratio. He stole a couple bags. He had 295. He had career highs at average, on base percentage, OPS, slugging, walks, RBIs, home runs, everything. And so this is a really, really big deal for Polanco, as this will really showed I'm even better off the juice. So going next, you got Nelson Cruz at your DH spot. Nelson Cruz defies aging. He's Rangers fans hate him for his fielding, but for the past 6 seasons, he's hit minimum 37 home runs, despite getting older. And honestly, he's putting up better power numbers the last 6 seasons than he did in his early 30s. Guy gets better with age, and that he supplies so much power to this lineup. It's a lot of even though he's people look at DHs, and usually DHs he's very much the DH's DH. Lots of power, can't field. And you don't need to worry about fielding this season, even in the postseason, because the NL has to deal with the fact that pitchers hitting is a terrible thing. So definitely, probably one of the best DHs in the league. I'm trying to think about where I'd put him, because he's definitely towards the top, definitely top 5 DHs in the league. So going next, Josh Donaldson. Josh Donaldson is, he's a lightning rod of a player. He can carry it. He can put a team on his back. He had a pretty disappointing stint with the not disappointing. He had a disappointing end to his 10 year with the Blue Jays. He became a star at the Athletics and then got traded to the Blue Jays. Had an MVP season in 2015. Had an overall pretty good season in 2016, and then struggled with injury in 2017 and heavily in 2018 when where and ended up getting traded to the Indians in 2018 for a few where he played the end of the season and into the postseason. He signed a 1 year prove yourself deal with the Braves. $23 million 1 year deal, pretty big for a 1 year deal. And he stayed healthy and he put together 37 home runs, a 259 average. Not the prettiest average, but for guys hitting 37 home runs, you're not going to complain. 94 RBIs, 521 slugging, a 900 OPS, 100 walks, 155 strikeouts. Like he showed, no, I'm still Josh Donaldson. I'm still Josh Donaldson, so I'm still good. And he got himself a nice 4 year contract with the Twins. Yes, a 4 year, $92 million contract with the Twins. Um, he's a very solid third baseman. Like the bat's all there. This was by far the best move the Twins could have made for a guy in the infield because they have utility man Marwin Gonzalez, but he's been horribly disappointing for the 2 year deal he has. And so this guy is a significantly better guy to throw there at third base. So next up, you got Eddie Rosario, who had a massive campaign last year. He had 32 home runs, a career high, 109 RBIs, a career high, 276 batting average, a 500 slugging. He's showing a lot of power and he's putting in a lot of work from a bottom of the order guy. Well, not bottom of the order, but like a late mid rotate order guy. Um, what am I saying? He's the middle of the order guy. I'm just blind. Um, his big boo boo is the fact he doesn't strike. He doesn't walk. He strikes out, 4 times more than he walks. Which in this league, the good mark is about 2 strikeouts every walk. So he's got to work on that. But otherwise, he's got a pretty good package overall for a player. Um, Definitely solid corner outfielder for this team. Uh, Second base, you got Luis Arias. He was a huge surprise for you guys last season. You called him up, and he wasn't making any headlines. And in fact, he was getting called up, and then he started hitting, and then he didn't stop. And so I was watching him playing the Yankees. David Cohn was talking about this. Every once in a while you get a guy you call up, and there's like literally you cannot send him down because it would just be so wrong to send him down. And in 92 games, he had 334. Not a lot of power, only 4 home runs, but the guy just hits. He walked more than he struck out. He had an 800 OPS. So he hits doubles, and he hits a decent amount of doubles and lots of singles. And so he's got good bat skills everywhere except the power. And he's also got really good fielding. So he's definitely got 4 tools there. And it's just a very, very good piece to have. And every once in a while you see one of these guys who you just don't expect and becomes a mainstay in this lineup. And he's only 23 this season, so very young, very exciting player. And Luis Arias, probably my favorite player on this team. Actually, I'm thinking about it because I love guys who could do a little bit of everything. And his hitting profile is out very similar to DJ LeMahieu, just with less power. So that's another thing I like about him because DJ's awesome. Anyway, first base Miguel Sano. Miguel Sano, 28 or 2017, sorry. He really, dominated in 100 something games, 264 average, 20 home runs, pretty solid. numbers. I'm not say dominated, but they have really solid numbers, and was a big part of the reason the Twins had a wild card berth in 2017 that was so surprising to everyone. 2018, 71 games, not because of some of it because of injury, most of it because he got sent down all the way to single A. He hit 199 and just fell off the face of the earth. 2019, he came back, not to his full 2017 self, but he hit more home runs despite not having the same average and his on base percentage declining from that. But he had a real turnaround season in 2019, and so that's really important. And the big problem for him is his defense. And actually, um, it wasn't always Marvin Gonzalez at third base. It was actually Miguel Sano was also at third base a lot, and his defense is atrocious. And so you get to slide him over to first base, which will hopefully help him out a bit. And yeah, so going to your last guy in the lineup, Byron Buxton. This team is so different when Byron Buxton's in the field because his defense is one of the best defenders in the league. It's honestly between him, Jackie Bradley Jr., and Kevin Kiermaier, who's the best center fielder in the league, like defensively. His bat is so-so. Um, he only hits in the 250s to 260s. Light power. Big thing for him is can he stay healthy? He struggled with health in 2018 and 2019. So you want to see him stay healthy this season. It's only 60 games, so it should realistically be possible. And if he stays healthy, that'll be pretty huge for this team. Even if he's not even only the ninth hole in the lineup, the team performs better when he's out there. So clearly he's got some leadership qualities that inject a lot to this team. So overall, top to bottom lineup, very threatening, very good lineup. One of the better hitting lineups you'll see. Um, Going into the starters, this is probably the weakest area for the Twins now, but it's not like it's like a huge weakness. I think some of these stats on here are just wrong. I don't think Barrios or Odorizzi or Maeda is going to have an ERA over 4 this season. But we can talk about that. So talking first about Jose Barrios, he's been up for 4 seasons now, with the exception of his rookie season where he got annihilated. Last 3 seasons, just been one of the most consistent pitchers in the league. Consistently good ERA, good strikeout stuff. Ridiculous curveball he throws. I don't know if it's a curveball or a slurve, but he's got this breaking ball that just when it's on, he cannot be hit. So he shows ridiculous periods of dominance and also some pretty rough patches too. He unfortunately had a rough patch when it came to the postseason, but he also only got 1 start, so it's not entirely fair. But definitely, the best pitcher in this lineup. He's really turning himself into one of the better starters. Not I wouldn't call him full ace level yet, but he's still a very solid starter. Up next, you got Jake Odorizzi. Jake Odorizzi has struggled a lot in 2017 and 2018, and so he really put everything together this last season. 2018 was really disappointing um, for him, and the Twins were obviously expecting more. And he performed worse after getting traded. But 2019, he had a 3.5 ERA, 15 wins, struck out 178, 109 innings. He did a lot for this team, and there's actually a while where he was top one of the better ERAs in the league. But not that 3.51 is bad. That's a good ERA to have. Like if you have a guy with a 3.51 ERA, you're not complaining about that guy. So I expect him to follow up that season. I don't think there's a reason for him to suddenly degrade back to what he was doing in 2017 and 2018. So, definitely solid guy. It's going to be a case for a lot of these guys. Are just solid rotation pieces. And then you got Kenta Maeda. Kenta Maeda, I think, is, just never had a chance with the Dodgers. His biggest problem is the fact he never got to settle fully into the bullpen or fully into the rotation. If someone in the rotation couldn't make their start, oh, well, Kenta Maeda can come in and pitch that start. Then we'll throw him back into the bullpen. And so he's got, I think, going into getting a chance to be solidly in one place. You see it with like a lot of big leaguers is, who get moved around a lot. They don't get a chance because pitching in the bullpen, and the whole rotation, the whole idea of getting prepped in the bullpen is so different from being prepped in a starting role. And so, being in Maeda's wanted to be a starter since he's gotten to the league. And so I think this will be a very important season for Maeda. I expect a lot. I don't expect him to, absolutely dominate, but I think he's a very solid pitcher that a lot of people don't realize when they look at him. And, he had an excellent postseason, despite the fact that, when Dave Roberts made, the usual bullpen blunder and decided, let's bring in Clayton Kershaw to face two guys who Kenta Maeda has been making look like fools for this, in previous uh, NLDS games. So he got very unlucky there. For some godforsaken reason, Homer Bailey's on this team. I will never understand how he continues to find spots in major league rotations. I mean, he had a pretty whatever start to his career, had a pretty decent couple of years from 2012 to 2014, and then his lowest ERA mark in the last 5 seasons was a 4.57. And his whip's always atrocious. His ERA is always atrocious. It's like he's 34. I don't know what exactly. I mean, for all we know, maybe he turned something insane here, but I just don't understand what exactly teams are. What why what they are hoping to get. Like he's a fifth starter at best. So maybe I mean he had some good stretchers in 2019. And so maybe they're hoping that those good stretches can continue. But I don't like. I was expecting Homer Bailey to be on a minor league contract. Like I don't expect people to go. You guys don't just usually get just swept out of the league. Normally they'll sign minor league contracts places, but or go to Japan or the KBO. But you know, uh, so maybe he showed enough. We'll have to wait and see. Um, and he did have a pretty good start to spring training before it got canceled. So there's something there. Um, we finally encountered a name that I'm not 100% sure on how you pronounce. Uh, who was Chassin? I think. Not 100% confident in my pronunciation of it. He's projected to be a fifth man in the lineup. He's had a pretty up and down, some really solid seasons, some not so solid. In 2017 and 2018, he was pretty good, and then 2019 was atrocious. 25 games started, 25 games, 6.1 ERA. Um, got traded to the. He had a rough start, rough part of the season with the Brewers, and then got traded to the Red Sox and got worse. So this is definitely a 1 year prove yourself deal. Get back into what you did the past couple of years, and so you could end up getting something pretty decent out of him. Like him, I understand way more than Homer Bailey. Like that's what I mean. Like this guy, I think projects better as a fourth man. Obviously, he had the worst 2019, but he's also had more recent success than Homer Bailey. 2018 2018 is much closer than 2014. So overall, solid top three guys, lacking that true lockdown ace, but overall solid three guys. Rough fourth man, and the obviously your last two guys are your question marks. Bullpen is the last place we'll look at, and the bullpen. I'm actually really impressed with the bullpen they put together. I think it's much better than it was last season. Uh, they they needed something, and they finally because Taylor Rogers was that bullpen last year. He had a 2.61 ERA, 69 innings pitched, 30 saves. He was put in all situations whenever they needed him, and that kind of really negatively affected him. Which, like, obviously, guys can expect to be used, but like they were using him so heavily, and like they would give him like long rests after using him like a lot of days in a row, and so it didn't really that always hurts a player. They re-signed Sergio Romo, who was traded to them and was pretty good for them in 2019. Sergio Romo's I love watching him pitch. I don't know what about it is, but I like his motion. I like his he doesn't throw hard at all. His average fastball is around 86 miles an hour, which is low. but he's definitely very, very good reliever. And him and Trevor May will share setup duties. Trevor May also had an excellent season last year, easily his best season to date. 64 innings pitched, 79 strikeouts, a 2.94 ERA. Really, really good out of him. And so the re-signing of Sergio Romo to help him out was huge. Second, also signed Tyler Clippard. He's had his ups and downs, but last year was really good for him. 2.90 ERA, 62 innings in a bullpen that sucked. So he showed that he's, you know, got the stuff to pitch in the bigs. To keep pitching the bigs, I say he's been pitching for since 2007. Like he's not done yet. Which when a guy has a post some rough ERAs, you generally think, okay, well I guess he's on his way out. No, not Tyler Clippard. He's had a really excellent 2019. And so I really like signing him because it just makes his bullpen significantly better. Tyler Duffy, pretty miserable numbers for most of his career. Then 2019 goes from a 7.2 ERA in 2018 to a 2.5 in 2019 with 57 innings pitched, 82 strikeouts. Just really an uptick in velocity like that. Like this could be, some guy who really is turning. That was a big career turnaround for him last season, and maybe he can keep that going. But these five guys will make the core of your bullpen, and it's actually a very threatening bullpen. Um, and so, even though there's the one addition in Tyler, Clippard, makes a huge difference, I think, for a team like this. So definitely excited to see what he's got. You also signed Rich Rich Hill to a minor league contract, which which is why I'm like even also more confused. I meant to bring this up earlier about why Homer Bailey's in this team. Rich Hill is coming off a surgery, which is bad, obviously, but he's also been, he's 40 years old and he's had an excellent couple of years. Just the big problem for Rich Hill is his health. And so when he's but that's my point. Is you got a guy, he'll be coming up and he can be a big improvement for the rotation. But I'm just going to go off of what's projected to be there because RotoChamp has updated its stats projected for a 60-game season. Not its wins though. But overall, we'll talk about overalls in a second. Let's go into our focuses here. In your lineup, Max Kepler. He didn't get enough credit for what he did last season. He was excellent, and he was excellent. He signed a nice extension with Minnesota. I think he fits in well here. He is. There's actually an article titled "Germany's MLB Hope." Now he's. When you think of foreign prospects, you think of Japan, Korea, the Caribbean, Mexico, South America. You don't think of Europe much, and he's turned himself into a really, really solid big leaguer, and definitely a big part of this lineup. Going next, Josh Donaldson. He's your big free agent. You need him to do a lot. Now, this team already has a ridiculous amount of power and a really good hitting core, and so expect quite a bit out of him. He's been, he had a really excellent last season, and you know what he can do. He's He's a former MVP. He's got the stuff. Going next, Jose Barrios. This season, maybe in a shorter season, he can keep his ace. He can get into an ace stretch, and he will be that lockdown ace that the Twins need. And he's the most important man in that rotation for you guys. He's the best homegrown guy you got, and so that's his wrap. Taylor Rogers. Expect him to carry this bullpen. He's gonna be throwing a lot of innings despite the shortened season, and he is excellent. And I expect even better numbers because he's got more guys in that bullpen now. And like I showed you Sergio Romo and people who were there last season, but they didn't get him till the end of last season, and in a trade, and so they have a full season of really good bullpen arms. So that's gonna be pretty huge for him. And also, I just want to point out, I find it kind of funny how, like, I think for a lot of these videos, I always happen to find players pitching away for like at Yankee games. If you look in the background, that's a clear Yankee uniform in the background. I don't know how I keep managing to do that, but not even intentional. But anyway, going to grades because it's time to end this lineup. Does it deserve the A? Oh, Jeremy, what do you think? Any input for that?
I mean, I always try to give teams the benefit of the doubt for me. When I'm making my videos, I give them the benefit of the doubt if I'm torn.
I don't think this team needs the benefit of the doubt. I'm just questioning. I don't even know what I'm questioning, honestly. It's an A. It's like they got power 4 days on that lineup, and so you know, you got people like Luis Arias to just get on base a whole bunch, and you know, when these guys walk to get him to drive them in, like they
Is
got.
it an A pending Josh Donaldson's return to form?
Well, I mean, no, I think Josh Donaldson had a mostly return to form last season. I think the question for me is, no, I think he's just an A,
Yeah.
because also there's some ridiculous stat because like Mitch Garver had 31 home runs in 93 games, like that's crazy. So they got probably one of the better, probably number two big offensive catcher in the league. No. Um. So yeah, I think I'm confident in the A. My biggest question on this in the lineup is Byron Buxton because he has problems with staying in the field, and his hitting isn't that impressive to me. People always talk about him as like, I get the defense. Defense is all there, but he needs to stay healthy. So that's a question for me. But yeah, I think he gets the A. Starters, this is definitely your weak spot. You got three good guys, and when it comes to a postseason team like this, you need three good guys. So you have three good guys. I'm talking about the rotation, even though the bullpen's second. Um, Whatever. Rotation gets a nice B minus because your top two guys I think are very good. You don't have that lockdown ace, and then it's Kenta Maeda's first season in the as a full starter who's not going to bounced around a whole bunch. So I can't guarantee he will be what I think he's going to be, but from what he's done in the past few seasons, I think he'll be really solid. But I obviously can't give him the full thing, the full pledge confidence. And then Homer Bailey and Willis Jessine are obviously big question marks for this rotation, and you have Rich Hill, which is another question mark for this rotation. So that's my reasoning for that. Bullpen. Honestly, I was going into this thinking I was going to give the bullpen. When I was doing my research, I was like, okay, the bullpen's the weakness, but no, I think it's actually another big strength of this team. I think they have five really good arms, and five really good arms is enough for an A. I think a lot of teams will underrate this bullpen. I don't want to be a guy to underrate this bullpen. I think they have the stuff.
So what does
So
that average out to? An A minus overall,
I think so.
roughly, rough justice.
Yeah, I'd say so. I'd say like the bullpen's an A minus to an A, and so I'm gonna stick with the A though because I think the Twins got a really nice club. I
So
think they
they're
made a lot of
between an
smart
A
moves.
minus and a B plus overall as a team.
Yeah. So the overall, I'd say A minus, B plus. Very good team, well-rounded team. The offense is insane. The bullpen has a lot of potential. The offense reminds me a lot of the 2018 Yankees, except they strike out less. Not by much, but they still strike out less. And the bullpen is just really good. So yeah.
Alrighty.
So yeah, my projection for them is AL Central winners. I think it's their division to lose. Yeah. So if you like the video, like, comment, subscribe. If you think your rotation's best in the league, well, you're wrong, but come let me know. Um, Go check out our social media, the Instagram, our Twitter, and drop a follow. Come check out our Discord if you want to talk to us live. I don't have too much going on right now, so if I get a notification in Discord that someone's joined and you want to talk about sports, hit me up. Yeah, so I think
Alright.
that's about it. Did I miss anything?
No, I think you about covered it. We go to New England tomorrow. We go to the Patriots to do a draft recap for them. And then you get to look at the Red Sox on Thursday.
The cheaters? Yes, yep.
Here we go. Here we go.
I'm not okay. It's not going to be. I'm honestly not going to even like. It's not. Their situation was not nearly as bad as the Astros. It was a couple of players, and it was definitely like only 2018, and it was definitely not in the postseason as well. And so I'm not going to talk about it as much. It won't even be a factor, honestly. It's not. It's not like it's like a. And they got rid of the orchestrator of it, so I'm not even in the guy who used it the most. Mookie Betts. Uh, so I don't really, that's not going to be a, it's going to be a moot point.
Alrighty. So,
But yeah,
make sure to come back and check
even a
those
Yankee
out.
fan has to come out every once in a while.
Alright. Make sure to go check those videos out later on in the week. But yeah, I think that'll be it for us for today, and we will see you tomorrow. Peace.